Reflect. You sleep for a long time, longer than you can remember. Is this what comes before my next life? You're not sure. You've never felt quite like this before. You don't feel tired or alert. You don't feel pain or comfort. You don't feel anything at all. Just exist then. Your first thought in you don't know how long sparks the sound of a familiar voice. I hope Lindiddy is right. Sooner is better. Your next thought is far later than the first. How long has it been? It's a lively debate. Everyone will come around to my side, which is that of wisdom and justice. Anyway, that's how I lost my third eye for good, but at least they're listening to me now. Adult Gory. Come back to us soon, okay? Oh no, are they talking to me in the vat? I'm gonna cry again. God damn it. The gray edges of the world close around you again. You sleep for a time. Days? The world feels cool, soothing. Adult Lindiddy. I promised everyone you'll be back, but the voices didn't tell me. It's just supposition. To keep others confident. I'm just adapting the things that Gratrag said. Repeating Gratrag's word doesn't feel right, but there are so many challenges. Faith in you helps everyone overcome these challenges. We're starting to change things, though. Your speech, you helped us do something about greed. Think about whether I was giving. Sorry, I'm crying again. A lot of monsters with something to spare are doing just that. Sparing it, I mean. Contributing to a fund for monsters in need. When someone is hurt too badly to heal normally, we feed them with that. And nobody's even tried to steal a stockpile. Astrasil says it's unprecedented. You should bring enough snacks to get through your shift, but here. Thanks, you're the best. I know it. You feel bubbles pass through you and pop as they reach the cool air above. Whoa, is that the old one? Is that what the old ones are talking about? I think it's just hot air. Bubble more. Nothing happens. That's what I meant, huh? Haha, you're terrible. I know it. A few slow minutes pass. All you hear is the sound of someone chewing. Nobody came this year. Too busy, I guess. I wish I was important enough to be too busy for something. You'd better get back to patrol before Yokri notices. You hear a door close, a latch clicks. You're alone. Aren't you? Rancid looks fabulous! Aren't I? Sorry, I was late. I really am busy. Rancid, can you hear me? Everything grows hazy. Your vision blurs again, but you're still conscious. Rancid speaks, but you can't make out the words. Their voice has a rhythm to it, like a beating heart. You manage to focus your attention again after how long? You're not sure, but Rancid is still talking. There are things to do. There are people to hunt. But not as many as before. Thanks to your teachings, malice is less of a thing. Think about whether I was kind. Monsters can still be cruel, but they don't go out of their way to do it, mostly. Lindiddy and, you remember Biribiri? They started a hospital for the hurt and sick. Some monsters just show up to help out there. So it's better now. It's a kinder world, not perfect, but better. I don't know why I'm so emotional. I won't be able to cut this at all. A slithering sound echoes from unseen walls. You're alone. For real this time. What was that? What was that? Are they elders now? What was that? Just bubbles, they don't mean anything. Can Gory hear me? That was me, Gory. Rancid, I'm so glad to see you. I wanted to be here, you know, just in case. Humans loved nice round numbers. I bet we learned that from them. The gray intrudes as your mind falls into a minuscule nap. Wake up. You jerk awake almost instantly. There it was again. The bubbles. All of that about numbers is true, but it still feels good to be here again. Aww, they look so good. I don't know why I'm so emotional, I'm sorry. Rage. Try as you might, there are no further bubbles to be given. despite everything. I don't have to be anywhere. For a change, you? I have to get back to the front soon. They can't read my maps. I have that emergency meeting to convene. The council can't read my maps either? Is that a joke? Rancid chuckles. You lose track of their words and have a long, pleasant dream. It's funding, always funding. To reach high, you have to dig deep. I miss it. Miss what? When we could, just roar and show our teeth and everyone fell into line. That speech, remember? It inspired a lot of us to be bold, to be brave, to shrug off docility. We were brave? When the council elders came out of hiding, we didn't back down, sent them packing, hunted them. Yeah, that was a good day. And when the ambassadors came from Snack, that could have been much worse. It's still pretty bad. Sure, but there's hope. We're up to the challenge. It was never that easy, though. How many did you have to hunt down? Nobody speaks for a while. Nobody moves. You're sure you're not asleep? You can hear all of them breathing, sitting quietly, thinking their thoughts. Let's hope it doesn't get so bad again. Agreed. Agreed. I brought a gourd of 6 spices. You still like it? I sure do. Pop. The sound of the cork echoes in silence. To friendship. Glug glug. To loyalty. Glug glug. To those who are no longer here. Glug glug glug. Hey, don't slug off at all. I was drinking extra on behalf of our many missing friends, thank you very much. A brief silence stretches out before finally breaking when someone burps. I'll drink to that. Glug glug glug. Now who's hogging it? Hogging what? All I see here is an empty gourd. Knocking the door latch. Is everything all right? Your people are doing good work here, Supervisor. Thank you. Do I smell cinnamon? Probably your imagination. All right, I have to get back to the complex, much as I'd like to stay. See you next year, maybe. Maybe. Come back. And nutmeg, wasn't it? Don't you have a roster to review? Understood. I'm going. I wonder what happens if I... Drip, drip, shake, drip, drip. What are you doing? Your world is a warm red spice. You have a dream about a meadow in the Sharps. A purple beetle speaks to you with Gory's voice. A feral adult is violent, but you escape. Time falls away behind you. A fly lands on you, or you eat a fly? You're not sure. 2 monsters have a screaming argument in the hall, then start laughing. More time passes and you dream again. Sunlight warms you. No, it feels different. Bask in it. The heat feels good as you sleep again. Someone is giving a speech. It sounds like Lindiddy, except her voice is tinny and small, artificial. You return to another pleasant dream before you can pick out what she's saying. A wet cough makes the room shake. You feel it all through you. Lindiddy clears her throat and then coughs again. She wheezes like a monsterling fresh off the tussle ground. She sounds sick. It feels silly to say all this. Her voice sounds rougher, older. But we have to hope. I always say that, I know, but saying it helps me do it. Things are better, but there are always new problems and there's always more work. Are you standing behind me? No. Indeed, I'll just be leaving then. The door latch clicks. Heavy steps shake the floor. Rancid isn't wheezing, but their breath is slower and lighter than you remember. Sorry it's been so long. I couldn't get here last year because of the final hunt. Or the year before because of what we thought was the final hunt. Years? But good harvests from now on if nobody makes trouble. And those idiots aren't around to make any more trouble. You blink your eye twice. Closing the lid is like pushing a heavy stone through wet sand. Opening it is even harder. Have an eye? That's odd. You haven't felt like you had an eye in a long, long time. Wake up. The end. Awaken. In a small vat of cool blue serenity, something wonderful happens. A clump of slime congeals into a body surrounding an eye that has already formed. Then a mouth. It's you. You are a morsel that will grow to be a monster, drifting within a sea of clean blue slime. Haven't I been here before? Not here, you haven't. Something's different. You rest, but you do not grow. The blue slime has no nutrient value. Hey, your single eye has just split into two. Stretch and swim. You glide through the substance with ease. The only bubbles in the substance arise from your simple movements. You're starting to grow hungry. Hunt. Try as you might, you are unable to find morsels here. Just wide open space in which to swim. Forage? You begin to find little flakes of edible stuff, a mixture of meat and ground herbs. It rains down slightly from the surface. Are we in a tank? Scoop and devour. Your body soon feels more solid. You gain 10 flesh. Whoa, that's a lot. The flakes of food seem to be precisely what a developing morsel needs to grow. A flame of emotional energy kindles inside of you. You gain 8 guts. That's great. Something about the concentrated meat content seems to help your muscles and glands grow. My brains, dang. Fibers of consciousness weave through your blobby body and knit together. You gain 42 brains. Use my brains to remember everything. Everything! You've experienced more than one lifetime in the space of a heartbeat. The memories spiral away, leaving impressions on your new mind. You gain 50 brains. Something extends from within the core of your body. Ah yes, my first limb. 2 limbs, actually. A pair of perfectly symmetrical arms with flexible paws at the ends. You twist and test your new arms. They propel you through the blue slime at great speed. I'll use my energy to find and eat all the food flakes. Clean to the bottom of the vat. Strike out above. Food flakes. You tire yourself out circling the vat, which seems smaller and smaller as you go larger and larger. Every time you think you've found the last of the food, more of it starts spreading on the surface somewhere else. You scoop each new sprinkling of flakes into your growing mouth. Clunk! The slime level starts to drop. Everything spills through the new opening in the side of the vat. The slime is less blue now. It's more diluted and watery. Taste it. Something like salt, but not exactly. There's definitely a mineral tang to the stuff. You are no longer alone. Other morsels drift, swim, and glide through the blue slime. Swim around and look for more food flakes. There's plenty of food to go around. The composition feels different than the stuff you ate in the smaller personal vat. Taste it. More meat, fewer herbs, grittier. Your sense of taste is growing more sensitive by the hour. As you eat and swim, your body is replenished. More changes begin to radiate from the core of your body. Your nascent, graceful limbs start to develop a fine, tough hide. You remember being afraid at this point in some of your past lives. This time, though, there is neither pressure nor panic. Is something soothing my mind? You can't tell if it's because all of your body's needs have been met or if there's something extra in the food. All you know is that you're calmer than you usually are. You continue to recover and develop. Those new lungs feel as symmetrical and balanced as your arms and legs. Rise to the top and expose myself to the air. Gasp! Your first true breath doesn't hurt at all this time around. Someone reaches from the edge of the vat and grasps you with 2 large, gentle paws. Hello, little one. I'm Beric. I'm here to help. The adolescent wraps you in an absorbent blanket. The unfamiliar fabric wicks away the residual slime, leaving you cleaner than you can remember being in any lifetime. Great. With a small shudder, you complete your transformation into a monsterling. Beric carries you through a door, down a corridor, and through another door. All this air breathing is tiring you out. News that some things don't change. Really? This is a far cry from the coop. Beric lays you down on a soft, yielding surface and covers you loosely with another blanket. You stay here and I will bring you something good to eat. Welcome to Ash, little one. You close your eyes. The end is taking longer than I expected. Convene. Eventually, you open your eyes again and feel alert. Beric is at your bedside. They tick things off a list on a sheaf of papers. This is so exciting. I have all the reading material for your trip. I'm going on a trip? Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I meant for our trip. Barrick leans close, studying your eyes. The adolescent's jaws and eyes open wide. Barrick howls in your face. Stay silent. They narrow their eyes at you and check off a few more boxes at the end of the sheaf of paper. The counselors thought you could use an assistant who knows their way around modern society. How to use a plumber, how to drive a float cart, all the little things you never had to learn before. I still don't know what's going on here. You're alive! I'm sure you'll pick it all up quickly. Mercurials grow fast and learn fast, but I don't have to tell you that. Mercurials? There's more than one? Oh, yes, of course. There are hundreds of us now. More every year, you know. Barrick tucks the list into a larger sheaf of documents and slides everything neatly into a slim leather bag. We're ready now. They push a button set in the wall. You hear a faint buzzing and a sound in the distance. Barrick taps their claws on their lap impatiently. They pull one of the documents out of the bag and scribble a few lines at the bottom. You hear thudding footsteps in the hall. The door latch clicks. Oh, hello, old friend. Hello, Lindiddy. I'm gonna cry again. You took long enough, though, didn't it? Don't listen to her. You're right on time. 100 years exactly. Where is Ruck? Are they okay? What? The school? Gory clears his throat and stares at Lindiddy with most of his eyes. Oh, yes, I remember. Of course I do. Oh, I remember. Ruck died before I did. The fight with... He had the plates and a big maw. Gratrag. Lindiddy grunts under her breath at the name. Ruck saved you from Gratrag, but they gave their own life to do so. I made myself cry all over again. We all had a statue built when a monster was finally born with that talent again, but... Gory shrugs helplessly. Monsterlings play in a shadow of Stone Ruck at Ruck School, unknowing of real Ruck. Oh. Lindiddy rubs one of her eyes with the back of one paw. Long time gone now. Long time. How could you forget Ruck? It's been 100 years. At least you returned to us. I knew it was going to happen this year. Lindiddy said round numbers don't matter, but they do. I actually don't remember saying that. Sounds cynical. Ask them what happened. Well, we tamed some wild dogs, but it didn't work out. They see us as chew toys, not friends. And there was a squirrel. I swear it was evil. It was planning things. No, Gory, no tangents. Start at the beginning. Oh, sorry. I was thinking about the dogs on the way over here. Yes. The beginning, which was, of course, the end. Gory takes a deep breath and hunkers down next to your bed. He looks at the ceiling, blinks once with all his eyes, then looks back at you. A century ago, you died, of course, but it was a good death. Your speech worked literal wonders. You were simply perfect that day. Your life gave so much strength and something to compare ourselves to. We founded a new council, then and there. Better than the one that was destroyed. Lindiddy snaps her claws together. You remember that? With adolescents and adults and Elder Astros. Excuse me. We even let a few monsterlings advise us once we got going. Every voice was heard, but we all worked hard to reject the voices of our monstrous instincts. Why is Rancid talking in full sentences? They look briefly bemused. How am I talking? You used to talk like this. Lindiddy laughs. I remember that too. You have a memory like a rusted plummet. What is a plummet? Lindiddy waves that off. They give a decent speech now, when they bother to appear. Hey, Rancid gave a lot of good speeches back in the day. Put the fear into a lot of recalcitrant monsters. I still say that the fear helped the worst monsters be better, and the better monsters be better monsters. Rancid smiles. Better monsters? Focus, please. We got better. All of us. Because of the things you said and the things you taught us. Your generosity replaced greed. Monsters put aside some of what they had to give to others. We have a holiday where we give gifts now. I wish Astrasil could be here to see you again. She was grateful for what you did. What happened to Astrasil? Well, nobody lives forever, do they? Except you so far. There is something left of her in the population. Right. It was after we built the new central vat, and we circulate that one into all the peripheral vats once a year. Did you feel her in there with you? Was Rock's essence in the vat? Absolutely yes. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. We still don't know how long the vestige of personality stays in a dead monster. What was left of Rock went into the vat, but it was days later. I still say yes, and I have a good reason. You're imagining things. My good imagination has good reason then, and it's done much for us. Not everyone was happy to go along with reform, of course, especially in the beginning. I had to do a lot of persuading. We uncovered something terrible a few years after you died, dug too deep in the tunnels under the heap. Oh? Red molten rocks welled up from a vent. This whole cavern was a volcanic caldera once, you know. But a lot of monsters stepped up to divert the flow, digging trenches and piling trash even as they smoldered from the heat. Because of your example, the way you taught them not to give in to docility, they saved the city from melting away before we could rebuild it. I had to give a lot of speeches. Too many speeches. Smirk at the thought of a distracted, confused Gory making speeches. Tell Gory his speeches must have been great. Gory blows a theatrical raspberry at Lindiddy. You still have the heart of a monsterling, Gory. I still say those speeches were weird. I had to hunt many times. The other two become quiet for a moment. What? You showed us how to avoid giving in to malice. We avoided bloodshed as much as possible. Not always, but most of the time. Oh. A young monster named Wilkish embraced that philosophy and expanded on it, encouraging everyone to be kind. Wilkish was also an excellent cook, don't forget this. I still have their book of recipes. I think the meta-ethical underpinnings of our basic societal impulse are more important than that, Gory. And Wilkish wouldn't have gotten there without our friend's guidance. They probably would still have invented those great poppadoms, though. In the end, we made a better world. What's the world like now? Well, remember the Sharps, where everyone was in gangs or wandering as pharaohs eating each other? There's nothing left that you'd call Sharps. Everyone has a home, clean and warm and safe. There's plenty of food to go around, though there are so many monsters now that sometimes getting it to their larders is a challenge. Logistics and resource management are the worst things I have to deal with these days, but I have to deal with them every single day. Even before the population exploded, it was that way. I think it started in the war. Oh, hey, guess what? What? I was in the war, General Gory. Technically, you're still a general. What was it back in the day? The Ash Army, right? The Ash Alliance Armed Array. You insisted on that name because the acrostic was easy to remember. We found other monster towns. Omen, where Jaggery came from. Znak, that was the home of the oldest monster before Jaggery was spawned. I actually remember those from a past life. Yes, those towns were around when the humans were still alive, hidden by forests and dunes and a general sort of instinctive fear. A mimetic aura of avoidance. The Znaks believed that since they came first, we were all their colonies, children, property, that kind of thing. So they should rule us, they thought. Yes, they thought. They didn't care about logistics or resource management, so about monsters eating each other, they encouraged it. Their council said the competition made the rest of the monsters smarter and stronger. Wherever they ruled, I ended up having to hunt. While we negotiated and shared your reforms, they raised up an army of feral fighters. They said leaders said they were brave and clever and honest, but they were just ferocious. We had to behead the serpent. My mimics hunted their elders. I still don't know if it was right. Gory reaches up and pats Rancid's shoulders with one gnarled paw. We saved as many of them as we could. Your friends look at each other without speaking for a while. Barrick ruffles a few more papers in the corner of the room. Outside, you hear birds singing together. We've perfected VATS, you know, and it's helped us spread out. Gratrag was almost right with his tub idea, though he wanted to make an elite ruin class and unintelligent workers. Oh yeah, remember when we found his proto-tubs under the North Fields? So long ago, we moved all the morsels there to the regular vat and got them back on track. Let them reminisce. Except, those three that all looked exactly alike, remember? They turned into monsterlings while we were transporting them. And then they ate your arms and legs and ran off. Whatever happened to those three? They were mimics, like me, so I took charge of them. What did you always say back then? Nothing bites like a mimic. Nothing bites like a mimic. All three elders chuckle. Lindeti clears her throat. There are 30 cities, 70 towns, and so many villages, even Lindeti can't remember all the names. I see. Plus the colonies. They're not colonies. We're not Snack, and they're not our vassal state. That's a key differentiator. Lindeti rolls her eyes. Semantics. It's hard to let go of old vocabulary. I was getting to that. Lindeti pulls a timepiece, a chain from her sash. The Slatooth Assembly is reconvening shortly. Are you still at that? You solved the problem 50 years ago with slime coins. Lindeti shakes her head and puts her paws up. Our actual business here. What is that? The thing is, we need you right now. Can't this wait? It's wonderful to have you back, to have you at the coterie complete again. We're still missing Rock. Gory smiles sadly to himself. Focus! I have to be at port in 43 minutes, so I need to finish this pitch. It's not much of a pitch if you're press-ganging someone into helping. Lindeti waves this away. Who's being press-ganged? We solved a lot of problems that made Ash what it was. The problems Gratrag caused, the ones we all caused, the ones that rose up from the initial terrible conditions. We broke the downward spiral. Turned it into a spring. Spring, more like a long, pleasant summer. If we could stay on topic, please. I see an inflection point coming. What inflection point? All this progress seems like so much. Cities and towns and independent outlying settlements, but it's really the seed of things. Monsters are going to look back at this and see it as small as the birth of their future. But even if I say that in my mind, it's a gleaming thing. A pinnacle higher than the new Tether Tower, and I can't actually picture anything bigger or better. We're old now. We think like old monsters. We need fresh blood and fresh brains. You can infuse us with new insights, new ideas, as we calcify in our waning years. Speak for yourself, crusty one. You bested greed in your last life, and society has become more generous by following in your footsteps. You taught us to be genuinely kinder, to refuse malice and help others, which is what monsters do now. You were the epitome of bravery and determination. You trounced docility and have become the template of our ambition. Exactly 100 years ago, yes, Gory, you were right. You were on the cusp of leading us forward. You had the poor grace to die on us. Indeed. It's time for you to sit in the driver's seat. Of what? There are problems now that we never had before. Dueling science factions, hive-mandated salt suckers, imaginary humans in the wilderness. That human was as close to me as you are right now, I swear! A need for a fairer, more equitable distribution of fuel and power. And even that's not the real challenge. The next set of problems, we can't even imagine what they're going to be. We kept changing as we got older, both as monsters and as a society. And we sloughed off the old flaws. Mostly. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted by this picture here. But smaller flaws rose up. Littler, meaner instincts that we couldn't even feel when they were drowned out by the big ones. Take a few breaths. Think about how you feel. Every new monster has this moment. Pay attention to the new feelings. The power of your old monstrous instincts has faded away. But there are others. Oh my gosh. Body odor, envy, prejudice, obstinance, ennui, indifference, inauthenticity, narcissism, entitlement, fearfulness, hubris. We monsters are still a flawed lot, Gory whispers to you. Yeah, but especially the youth. Watch this. Gory eases himself to his feet and stomps towards Beric, making the floor shake with his book. Beric! Beric looks up, calm as an especially calm rock. Need something, General? See, the adolescents these days wouldn't run from a feral if there were any ferals left to chase them. I saw some nervous-looking trainee doctors at the front desk if you want to scare someone. Gory motions Barrick towards you. Your new assistant pushes politely past him and begins making adjustments to the tubes and devices around your bed. Lindetti leans down, ignoring the antics of the others. I have to get to the conference. Barrick lifts the blanket off of you and squirts a bottle of something refreshing into your nose and mouth. You can read up on the science whilst we're in transit. I'd love to hear any suggestions you come up with. Fresh eyes, you know, really fresh. Where are we going? That's the best thing. We need to lead not just a new coterie of friends. Not just a gang, not a city, or even a ballywhack. What then? We are building a new world, my friend. Our first steps into the greater cosmos. It's the moon. We still only have one rocket a month. You've been to the moon? The low gravity makes me feel young again. Barrick steps back, nodding to themselves. The patient is ready to travel. If the crowds press too close, I'll push them back. I'm strong, you know. What crowds? All your admirers. Oh, that reminds me. Once the conference is over, General Gory suggested that you might have a few tips for me. Gory chortles. This one here never had to learn how to fight. I bet they have a talent for it, though. Fight? Might be fun. Fight me sometimes. Lindetti waves a paw and Barrick... Just thought about Ruck and started getting sad again. Lindetti waves a paw and Barrick opens the door from the hospital room. The monsters in the corridor are respectfully silent, but they elbow each other and fidget in place. It's the coterie! The coterie! The coterie! The coterie! Come along, old friend. We have much work ahead. The end. Oh my gosh. That was adorable. That was so much longer than the first one. I did not expect this series to be this long. And I didn't expect it to hit me right in the feels. Dang. That was adorable. I'm so glad that we were, I don't know, such a good, kind monster. That's exactly how I wanted it to end, so that's perfect. It's wild to me that they ended up going to the moon. Thank you guys so much if you made it this far for joining. I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to play next to fill this space, but if you have any ideas, please feel free to let me know. And I will see you guys later. Bye!